rumors of resignation. Senate summoned National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu over allegations of terrorist funding against USAID. On the foreign scene, Ukrainian president criticizes President Donald Trump, accusing him of being influenced by Russian propaganda. Good evening, this is News at 7 on Western Spring Television. I am Timitope Ajijola Oluwaola. The Osun State House of Assembly has asked the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, to evict and arrest those if described as illegal occupants of the local government secretariats in the state. Speaker of the State Assembly, Adewale Egbedun, said this in a press conference on Wednesday while reacting to the local government election crisis that snowballed into violent clashes that claimed lives on Monday. Following the resumption of officials elected on the platform of the All Progressives Congress, APC, at the local government secretariats across the state, Egbedun also urged President Bola Tinubu to wade into the crisis to avert escalation and further chaos. While demanding fairness from security operatives, the speaker urged Egbetokun to act in the interest of justice and security, stressing that the State Assembly is aware of the IGP's relationship with former Governor Boyega Oyetola, which as such should not be at the detriment of the state's security. The speaker also condemned the invasion of local government secretariats by the APC officials today, describing it as a threat to public peace and order. Earlier today, chairmen and councillors elected in the October 15, 2022 local government election resumed in about 14 local government secretariats in the state. Meanwhile, the State Assembly maintains that the Federal High Court's judgment remains binding and must be respected, further stressing an election slated for this Saturday as sacrosanct. The State Assembly, however, called on eligible voters to come out en masse to vote for their preferred candidates.
Today, members of the opposition party in the state, the All Progressive Congress, APC, forcefully broke into local government secretariats across the state. This unlawful invasion is not only a direct attack on our democratic institutions, but also a clear violation of the rule of law and a threat to public peace and order. Even more disturbing is the fact that security agencies who are meant to uphold the law were present while these illegal acts were being carried out. This is unjust, unlawful, and unacceptable. We have found that the Federal High Court's judgment remains binding and must be respected by all parties until set aside by a competent court. The Osun State House of Assembly is not unaware of the close relationship between Alhaji Boyega Oyetola, the former governor of Osun State, and the current Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, and the Inspector General of Police. However, while personal relationship may exist, the security of Osun State must never be sacrificed on the altar of friendship at the expense of the rule of law. The Inspector General of Police must act swiftly and decisively to, number one, ensure that all illegal occupants of the local government secretariat are evicted immediately. 2, arrest and prosecute all individuals involved in this unlawful invasion. 3, hold accountable any police officers who facilitated or failed to prevent this illegal act. The Osun State House of Assembly assures the people that no amount of intimidation, violence, or political desperation will stop the democratic process. We also call on security operatives to carry out their duties professionally, ensuring that voters are safe, polling units are protected, and law and order are maintained before, during, and after the elections.
In a similar development, the leadership of the Osun State chapter of the Osun State chapter of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has accused the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, of hobnobbing with the opposition All Progressives Congress, APC, to assassinate the state governor, Ademola Adeleke, amid the crisis surrounding control of the local government areas in the state. Addressing the press conference of the PDP Secretariat in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, the party chairman, Sunday BC, alleged that Egbetokun gave sacked local government chairmen under the platform of APC security cover to take control of councils saying the development was part of the plot to get rid of Governor Adeleke. The PDP chairman further claimed that Egbetokun took stand on the copies of the judgment at his disposal on the dispute over local government administration in the state, adding that the disobedience to the late town protocol and rules by the IGP Egbetokun, especially as it concerned security situation in the state, was not only suspicious but apparently dangerous. BC insisted that the forthcoming election will hold and urged voters in the state not to succumb to the tactics of the APC. Chairmen and councillors elected in the October 15, 2022 local government election in Osun State resumed in about 14 local government secretariats in the state earlier today. The chairmen and councillors, accompanied by many All Progressives Congress members, have resumed at Ila, Ede South, Ife Central, Ife East, Ife North, Ilesha East, Ilesha West, Borikbe, Oriade, and Obokun local government secretariat. Other secretariats where the resumed include Ejigbo, Iwo, Ayedire, and Borikbe local government secretariat. While commenting, former special advisor to former governor Gboyega Oyetola on education, Jamiu Olawumi, said at about 10 a.m. the chairmen and councillors resumed at 14 local government secretariats. While the House of Representatives has resolved to set up an ad hoc committee to carry out an investigation amid the ongoing local government crisis in Osun State, the resolution of the House comes after considering a motion from member representing Ede North, Ede South, Egbedore, and Ejigbo Federal Constituency, Bamidele Salam, calling for urgent intervention to avoid further crisis in the state. The House also asks the security agencies to ensure that peace is restored in the state. The resolution by the House follows the killings of at least 6 people on Monday in a crisis triggered by a contentious Court of Appeal ruling allegedly reinstating All Progressives Congress elected local government chairmen and councillors in Osun State. The attempted takeover of the local governments by the sacked APC chairmen and councillors sparked resistance in places like Osogbo, the state capital, Ikiri, and Irewole local government areas of the state, leading to the death of one of the sacked council chairmen, Remy Abbas, and others. The ruling PDP and the opposition APC are trading blame over the crisis, with both parties accusing each other of fomenting trouble.
5. Violence broke out in several parts of Osun State as a result of attempts to take over the administration of local government by officials who were sacked by 2 court judgments in November of 2022. Disturbed that the sacked officials are now breaking the gate of their respective local government secretariats to forcefully take over the local government without recourse to law and due process. The House notes that the governor of Osun State, His Excellency Senator Ademola Nuruddin Jackson Adeleke, as the Chief Security Officer of the state, had addressed a press conference on Sunday, 16th of February, and alerted the nation about an imminent threat to peace and security in the state, while calling on the Inspector General of Police and other heads of security formations to take proactive steps to forestall the violence. Concerned that if the current trend of resort to self-help by political actors is not nipped in the bud, it might encourage citizens to do same in the face of perceived rights and privileges. Worried that the present situation in Osun State may snowball into a free-for-all unless urgent actions are taken by relevant authorities. Concerned that the preventable violence which happened in Osun State has led to the death of 6 persons, while scores of others have suffered severe injuries and presently receiving treatment in various hospitals. Further worried that if prompt action is not taken against this lawlessness and arbitrariness, it may escalate into a more serious security challenge in Osun State. Aware that by virtue of Section 14(2)(b) of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, the most fundamental objective and purpose of government is the security and welfare of the people. Also aware that as elected representatives of the people, the House of Representatives has a duty and responsibility to ensure safety of lives and properties in Nigeria by weighing in on this matter. Assure that the Nigeria Police, the Department of State Service, and other security agencies have the capacity to restore normalcy in a neutral manner to all local governments in Osun State. The House hereby resolves: 1, to condemn any resort to self-help, violence, killing and harassment by individuals and political interests, especially the sacked local government officials who are presently taking over local government secretariats. 2, call on the Inspector General of Police, the DG of DSS and other security heads to ensure normalcy and restore order to all local government in Osun State.
In another development, former Special Advisor on Education in Osun State, Jamiu Olawumi, has dismissed claims by the Osun PDP Chairman, Sunday BC, of alleged plans to get rid of Governor Ademola Adeleke. While reacting in an interview with Rave FM News, Mr. Olawumi, an APC chieftain, described such claim as unfounded and unsubstantiated. He also stated that a press conference earlier addressed by the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Adewale Egbedo, was needless and advised that the PDP government should head to the appeal court for interpretation. Earlier today, the All Progressives Congress APC assumed control of at least 14 local government secretariats in Osun State as palpable tension continues to engulf the state.
If somebody alleges that they want to assassinate a governor, in the first instance, when it comes to governance, that's a treasonable offense, whose consequence is death. So I don't expect somebody like him to express a fake and weighty allegation. I wonder whether he's only trying to protect the governor or to escalate the situation on hand, or crying wolf where there is none. A state whose executive and House of Assembly will want to interpret the law is going to darkness. It's only the judiciary that can talk on the law, and the security agents to enforce the law. Nigerian Police Force has a legal department. DSS has a legal department. I know that Nigerian Police Force has about 3 senior advocates of Nigeria in the service. If they have studied the judgment of the Court of Appeal and they have chosen to come and implement and enforce that law, anybody talking anything is talking badadash.
So now that we have local government has autonomy, and it is APC that is now controlling the local government, they know that it will not be easy to move, to drain, to carry all these funds from local government to state government. The people of Osun State, our local government chairmen and councillors, they have come and they will stay.
If somebody alleges that they want to assassinate a governor, in the first instance, when it comes to governance, that's a treasonable.
Elder statesman and member of the PDP Board of Trustees, Senator Olu Alabi, has condemned the tragic loss of lives and unrest in the state. It describes the developments which were sparked by an appellate court judgment delivered in Akure as ugly and avoidable. Senator Alabi noted that Governor Ademola Adeleke had earlier warned political actors in the state to desist from actions that could destabilize the state, a call which he said was ignored. He stressed that the judiciary should remain the legitimate arbiter of electoral disputes, urging that all grievances be addressed within the provided legal framework and without resorting to force. He also implores the federal government and relevant security agencies to continue to intervene and restore order in Osun State, as well as ensure that those responsible for inciting unrest be held accountable. The Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, has described the illegal dissolution and taking over of local government administration by state governors as a treasonable offense. Fagbemi stated this on Wednesday during the opening ceremony of an event organized by the Nigeria Bar Association in Abuja. Represented by the Director of Civil Appeals in the ministry, Tijani Ghazali, the AGF noticed that despite the judgment of the Supreme Court and the provision of the Constitution guarding against the interference of state governors in the running of local government councils, some governors and their state assemblies continue dissolving elected local government council without following the provisions of the Constitution. He also accused the Attorney General and Commissioners for Justice at the state level for not giving legal advice to their governors and called for a stiff penalty against any governor who continues in such an illegal act. Moving to Lagos State, Speaker of the House of Assembly, Mojisola Miranda, has denied rumors suggesting that she has resigned. Miranda's Chief Press Secretary, Segun Ajiboye, debunked the rumor on Wednesday. The aide further explained that the latest resignation rumor stems from a fake resignation letter originally circulated on Monday by paid bloggers. The clarification is coming on the heels of viral reports alleging that the newly appointed speaker had resigned. It would be recalled that the Lagos State Assembly had been rocked with a leadership crisis since the former speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, was removed by the majority of the lawmakers at the House. While vowing to resume as speaker, Obasa also said he would challenge his removal in court. Justice Inyang Ekwo of the Federal High Court Abuja has rejected the request of the embattled National Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, to stop the Independent National Electoral Commission from effecting his removal as Secretary of the State. Justice Ekwo ordered Anyanwu to put INEC and other defendants in his new suit on notice to appear in court to enable him to hear the sides. Senator Anyanwu had approached the Federal High Court with an ex parte order, praying the judge to restrain INEC or any of its agents from receiving or effecting any correspondences and written submissions that emanated or may emanate from the PDP, except those signed by him. In the application argued by his counsel, Anyanwu also asked Justice Ekwo to restrain Ambassador Umar Damagum from forwarding any correspondence, documents, or written submissions to INEC unless they were signed by him. In a brief ruling, Justice Ekwo held that after reviewing Anyanwu's advertisements in support of his suit, he was convinced that a case of urgency was established. He therefore ordered Anyanwu to put INEC and Damagum on notice regarding the existence of the new suit to enable them to appear in court and have the sides heard. The National Judicial Council, NJC, says Justice Maurice Ikpambese remains the Chief Judge of Benue State. In a statement on Wednesday signed by a spokesperson for the council, Kemi Ogedengbe, the NJC said Ikpambese remains the state's Chief Judge until the complaints brought against the Chief Judge are investigated and deliberated upon by the council. The NJC said the purported removal of the Chief Judge by the Benue State House of Assembly cannot stand. Similarly, amid rising political tension in Benue State, the state caucus in the National Assembly has condemned the recent developments in the State House of Assembly, particularly the controversial removal of the State Chief Judge, Justice Maurice Ikpambese. Describing the action as unconstitutional and illegal, the caucus declared it null and void. The lawmakers from the state issued a strong call for the National Judicial Council to intervene immediately and prevent an impending constitutional crisis. Speaking at a press conference after plenary on Wednesday, the Benue National Assembly caucus wants that failure to address the situation could force the National Assembly to take over the affairs of the Benue State House of Assembly as provided for in the Constitution. The Lagos State High Court sitting in Ikeja has adjourned to April 15, 2025, the alleged defamation case brought by senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, and his son, Folari, popularly known as Falz, against social media influencer Martins Ote, also known as Very Dark Man. Justice Messias Dawudu adjourned the case at the instance of Very Dark Man after the court received a letter from his legal representatives, the law firm of DG Adeyanju. In the letter dated February 18, 2025, and written by counsel in the firm, Nafiu Alagbe, the lawyer asked the court to adjourn the case to a date in March or April, owing to the absence of the lead defense counsel, Marvin Omorogbe, who was said to be unavailable due to a domestic emergency. Counsel for the Falanas, Omotayo Olatunbosun, told the court that the letter was just a time-wasting tactic on the part of the defendants. Following the developments, Justice Dawudu adjourned the case to April 15, 2025 for a hearing. The Senate has summoned the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, and the heads of the National Intelligence Agency and Defense Intelligence Agency over allegations of terrorist funding against the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. The call for an urgent investigation into allegations of terror financing against USAID followed a motion raised by Senator Ali Ndume on the urgent need to probe the matter. During the plenary, lawmakers expressed concerns over a viral video of a U.S. Congressman, Scott Perry, who alleged that USAID has been involved in financing terrorist groups across the world, including Boko Haram. Ndume noted that this claim comes shortly after the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, raised alarm that terrorist groups in the country were receiving sponsorship and training from international organizations. The freeze in aid funding by Donald Trump's new U.S. administration has led humanitarian workers seeing a large proportion of the budget cut off and fearing millions will be affected as programs are suspended.
That U.S. aid or delivering on government efficiency, that U.S. aid has been funding terrorist organizations across the world, Boko Haram inclusive. Also notes that this allegation is coming up at the heels of the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, raising an alarm that Boko Haram terrorist groups are being sponsored and trained by international organizations. Further notes that over the years, the modus operandi of Boko Haram in Nigeria has been a source of great concern, as their source of funding and operations have been shrouded in mystery. Recalls that the devastation caused by Boko Haram in the northeast region and other parts of the country, which includes the bombing of UN building in August 2021, and of course, the bombing of the police headquarters here in Abuja, among other attacks, led to loss of lives of Nigerians in thousands and wanton destructions on properties, which occasioned unprecedented internal displacement across the country. Also recalls that the federal government over the years strived to put measures in place to curtail the activities of terrorist groups in the country by expending huge resources, which seem not to have yielded much result as the nefarious activities of terrorists continued unabatedly, and observes that the monumental devastation caused by Boko Haram in this country should be a matter of concern as it has dented.
The Osun State Police Command has confirmed the arrival of Habib Okikiola, also known as Portable, at the State Criminal Investigation Department in Ileweron, Abeokuta, the state capital. He was handed over to the Osun State Police Command by the Lagos State Police Criminal Investigation Department, where he turned himself in earlier on Wednesday. His arrival was communicated in a press statement issued by the Osun State Police Public Relations Officer, Omolola Udutola, in Abeokuta. Portable was declared wanted by the police for an alleged attack on 3 state government officials during official duty in his bar in Songo area of the state. You're watching News at 7 on Western Spring Television. Still to come, 2 people have died in a gunpowder explosion at a local market in Talata Mafara Market, Zamfara State. We'll bring you more on this when we return. Please stay with us. You're welcome back. This is still News at 7 on Western Spring Television. A reminder of our headlines. The Osun State House of Assembly has asked the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, to evict and arrest those described as illegal occupants of the local government secretariats in the state. Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mojisola Miranda, has denied rumors suggesting that she has resigned. The Senate has summoned the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, on the heads of the National Intelligence Agency and the Defense Intelligence Agency over allegations of terrorist funding against the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. On a foreign scene, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has strongly criticized former U.S. President Donald Trump, accusing him of being influenced by Russian propaganda. 2 people have died in a gunpowder explosion at a local market in Talata Mafara Market, Zamfara State. The incident, which occurred on Tuesday, caused widespread panic as traders and shoppers scrambled for safety in the busy market. According to reports, the explosion originated from a shop dealing in locally fabricated firearms. The chairman of Talata Mafara local government, Yaya Yari, confirmed the incident on Wednesday. He stated that the injured victims have been referred to Usman Danfodio University Teaching Hospital, Sokoto, for medical treatment. Zamfara State has been grappling with escalating insecurity, including banditry and kidnappings. The Edo State House of Assembly on Wednesday terminated the appointments of all political appointees attached to its members with immediate effect. Speaker Blessing Agbegbaku announced your dismissal during a plenary session in Benin, the state capital. Agbegbaku stated that the decision was unanimously agreed upon by all 24 members of the House, adding that the dismissed appointees would receive their February salaries. He listed the affected appointees as special advisors, senior special advisors, and others. The Speaker explains that the appointees were initially appointed by House members